Hello. So good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thanks to Professor Bala for inviting here and hosting this Energy Saraj Yatra. Thanks to Professor Anshuman, Professor Aditya, Professor Viraj Nanda. It is indeed my pleasure to be here with all of you this afternoon and discuss about the climate change, Energy Saraj, why I'm here, why I'm standing here. Before I do that, I would also like to give you a warning. If anybody wants to leave this class, you can leave right now, because when I'm going to finish the class, some of you would like to leave the course itself. So that's a sincere warning, right? So if you really want to leave, you can leave. If you want to save your seat here in IIM Ranchi. So anyway, thanks a lot. Before I start talking about the topic, let me ask all of you, how are you all? All fine? And that is the biggest disaster on this planet. That people sitting in an air-conditioned room are only fine people, you know. I thought when you see a professor from IIT Bombay, you're all going to be happy. I thought when we are growing so much with science and technology, you're going to be happy. You're growing with the economy, you're going to be happy. But unfortunate part of this world is that people are only fine. And the worst part is they remain fine for the whole life, you know. They stuck at fine level only. They never become happy. And you ask everyone, go and ask a taxi driver, how are you? He'll say, fine. You come to IIM and ask professors and students, how are you? Fine. You go to a big office and ask the secretary, collector, how are you? He's also fine. So I feel there is something wrong in this world, isn't it? How can everybody stuck at fine level? You know, Gita says that behind every single act that we perform in our life, whether we want to study well, whether we want to look good, whether we want to earn well, eat well, there's only and only one purpose, that is to be happy. There cannot be any other, isn't it? So therefore, I made a rule for myself that wherever I go and talk, I will only talk to happy people. So if at all you want to attend my talk, you have two choices. Either you're happy by choice or you're happy by force. Which one you want to choose? By choice, of course, that's a most intelligent choice. You're happy by choice. Very nice. So let me ask once again, how are you all? So nice. I mean, that's the whole purpose of life, isn't it? What's the proof that you're happy now? Smile on the face, right? So till I'm going to talk, one of the important condition is keep a smile on the face. Even if it is a fake smile, it's okay. The formula that you have to use in life is fake it till you make it, you know. Till you get the real good smile in your life, it's okay to fake it, but it's important to smile. That is the most important task. All right, I know some tricks how to bring smile, but we'll discuss it later, maybe towards the end. But let me start a very serious topic I'm here for, you know, the climate change and the solution to the climate change and the big eye which is sitting there. By the way, as usually, this is not working. What is happening? No. There's no switch. Yes. Is there any other point of view? All right. So anyway, let me start. So the next slide is the slide about saying that we are the modern humans of 21st century. Never ever in the history of this planet there were people who are so advanced like we are today. Nobody, never ever, right? We are so advanced that actually we can go to the moon, we can send our mission to the Mars. If there's a problem in somebody's heart, we can replace it. You know, हड्डी वड्डी टूट जाए तो जोड़ना तो दाएं बाएं हाथ का काम हो गया आजकल. So easy. In the times of Ramayana and Mahabharata, only few people actually had the vision to see beyond, you know, like Sanjay in Mahabharata, you know, he could sit in his mahal and see what is happening in the warfield. Today, we, the modern people, we have, all of us had that, you know, vision. You know how all of us can make a WhatsApp video call and find out anytime, anywhere what is happening. So we can see far beyond. So we are very powerful in that sense that we have so much of science and technology. And when we are so powerful, one of the Greek philosopher, Plato, he mentioned, it is important to be philosophical. Because being powerful without philosophy is like being headless chicken. And unfortunately, we the modern humans are behaving like a headless chicken today. No idea what we are doing, why we are doing. In fact, in his book, he has written that every king should be a philosopher. And that time, king used to be a powerful person, right? Because the king shapes the life of people in his kingdom. Right now, we can do that, all of you can do that. So every king should be a philosopher, or only philosopher should become king. So it is very important to be philosophical, but right now, as I said, we the modern people have no touch of philosophy. We have no idea why we are doing, how much we are doing. For example, all of us know that our country's GDP should increase, isn't it? Does anybody know how much GDP should increase? 5%, 7%, 9%, 10, 15, 20? Anybody? If I ask this question to Prime Minister, tell me how much GDP should increase. I don't think Prime Minister has the answer to this, isn't it? Okay, fine. How long GDP should increase? Another 10 years is good? Or 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years? No idea. The only thing that we know is we should increase our GDP. How much, how long? Nobody has any idea. Nobody actually can give answer to this question by logic. We can't get answer. And therefore, we are like headless chickens. We have no idea what we are doing, how much we are doing. And it is like sitting on a car which does not have a brakes, and we are like that only, isn't it? And I will show you why I'm talking about like this. So basically, that's what I am talking about. That so it is important to be philosophical. And I'm going to ask you some philosophical question. My first question I already asked. How are you all? All happy, right? We just decided that you are going to be happy. But is this what happening in this world? Our GDP is increasing definitely with the 5%, 7%, 8%, sometimes even 9%. What is the purpose of increasing GDP? I ask people, they say, okay, when we increase GDP, it results in prosperous society, increase in prosperity. I say, oh, wonderful. Last 20 years, we have been increasing GDP in the country. Tell me if every time GDP increases by 5%, does it also result in increase in smile by 5%? No? Smiles are not increasing? No. Is this happening? Smiles are decreasing? Tension is increasing, stress is increasing, violence is increasing, nature is degrading. Everything that we want to happen is exactly happening in opposite direction. And therefore, as I said, there is something wrong in this world. कुछ तो गड़बड़ है ना? In Mumbai language, we call it दुनिया में कुछ तो लोचा है भाई. ऐसा कैसे? GDP बढ़ रहा है पर स्माइल कम हो रहा है. कुछ तो लोचा है. You agree with me? Let me ask my second philosophical question to all of you. Tell me what is the most important thing in your life? What is the most important thing in your life? What? Being philosophical. Just learned he's applied already. Parents, what else? Purpose. Having purpose in life. Very nice. Breath. People are not telling, but of course, money. People are just shy in telling that, What else? Parents, children, job, satisfaction, position, respect. All these things are very important, isn't it? But more often than not, we forget the most important thing in our life. You want to know what is the most important thing in your life? You want to know? Let us do one exercise. What we are going to do for the next 60 seconds, let us stop breathing. Can you all do that? Just 60 seconds, don't breathe. Is it possible? No. I mean, we can try. I can put a timer right now. But I guarantee you 80 to 90% people will die. And therefore, I do not do this exercise because नहीं तो लोग बोलेंगे जहां भी प्रोफेसर सोलंकी जाते हैं बहुत सारे लोग मर जाते हैं. Most of us cannot hold our breath for 60 seconds. So what is the most important thing in our life? Not parents, not children, not job. It is the air, without which we cannot live more than a minute. We cannot survive. If it is so important that we can't live more than a minute, tell me, have you done something in your life to preserve or protect the air? Anything in your life? Probably sometime plantation, right? Sometime. Tell me, have you done something in your life to pollute the air? Yes, we are working very hard, every day, morning, evening, afternoon. We ensure that air is polluted, water is polluted, soil is polluted. Isn't it? That's what we are doing. The holiest of the holy river, Ganga, Yamuna, you can't go and drink a glass of water. Nobody can guarantee that the food that you're eating does not have chemicals. Air quality index is supposed to be, less than 50 to live a healthy life. Every city has air quality index more than 150. So one side GDP is increasing, but the nature is degrading. What is this nature? That nurtures our life. We cannot survive without this nature. We can survive without mobile phones. We can survive without computers, house also, but we cannot survive without this nature. So important. So when GDP is increasing, nature is degrading, I feel there is something terribly wrong in this world. You all agree with me? Okay. Who is degrading this nature? When I ask this question to people, who is degrading this nature? All the intelligent and smart people, what they say? Humans are doing, I'm not doing it. Who is doing it? Humans are doing it. Then I have to tell them, hello, wake up, you are the human. So who is doing it? No, not we. I, the big I sitting there, Why? Because you are the one who is consuming food. You are the one who is wearing clothes. You are the one who is using resources. You are traveling. So who is consuming resources? I as an individual, and therefore who is degrading the nature? I am doing. In Panchatantra, there is a story. We says that, once upon a time, there was a person sitting on a branch of a tree, cutting the same branch. What do you call such a person? Fool, stupid, isn't it? So when I see this, GDP increasing, but nature is degrading, I feel, is this a modernity or stupidity? What do you think? Is a modernity or stupidity? Looks like a stupidity, plain stupidity, So the next question is, who is stupid? Aye, very nice. That's the whole purpose of my yatra, to make people realize that this is utter stupidity, that actually we are doing it. And you know what? I have been telling people that you're all stupid all over the world. But believe me, nobody has ever objected. Nobody comes and objects, how come you tell me stupid? Even if you go to MIT and Berkeley and Stanford, everybody agrees that yes, it is a plain stupidity that we are doing. Every element of life, every element of nature that supports our life is in a bad shape today. Air quality index, as I said, supposed to be less than 50. It is more than 150. The forest is considered the lungs of the planet, but we have cut down the forest by 30%. Imagine if somebody cuts your lungs by 30%, what happens? The soil is important. We can't grow food, but more than 30% of the soil has been converted into dust, where you can't grow anything. Difference between soil and dust. And water is important, but 500 million people in the world today suffers from the water scarcity throughout the year, every day, 365 days. We, the modern humans, can't even guarantee clean drinking water to every human being, and we call ourselves smart and intelligent and advanced. Isn't it? It should be really shame on us. The question is, what has driven us to this state? How come we have become like this? And the answer is use of energy. Ever since we learned how to use energy, we started becoming like this. We started using the coal-based energy in 1850, and then oil, and then gas, and we started becoming like this. But energy is so important, The whole world is play of energy. Whatever you are going to do, everything has to do with energy. Here, everything is energy. You are energy. I'm energy. Furniture is everything. The whole world is play of energy. The unfortunate part is we are playing the wrong game of energy. Very wrong game of energy. In fact, there are two energies, I say, internal and external. The fact that science is growing, technology is growing, economy is growing, but smiles are not growing. Glow on the face is not growing. You know why? Internal energy also going down. That drives our life. Enthusiasm, creativity, excitement, positivity. No, why? Because it is going down. The kind of life that we are leading right now, and the external energy that drives our lights and fans and vehicles and kitchen, that is also in a very bad shape. As per the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, that's called SDGs, there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and center of this is energy. So all your parameters of growth, whether it is social growth, economic growth, whether it is poverty, hunger, education, health, women empowerment, equity, climate change, even global peace and partnership has something to do with energy. What is happening in Ukraine has something to do with energy. What happened in Iraq has something to do with energy. So energy is such a driving force of our life. But as I said, unfortunate part is we are playing a wrong game of energy. Very wrong. How? This will tell you. We started industrialization ourselves in 1850. So first time we started using coal. And then by 1900, we started using crude oil. By 1850, we started using gas. And right now, look at from 1950, how fast the energy consumption is growing. So what is the problem with this? Right now in 2020, we are talking about biomass, solar, wind, hydro, coal, nuclear, all kind of energy sources we are using. What you can't see here is the major portion of this is coming from three sources: coal, oil, and gas. These three, coal, oil, and gas. So what is the problem with the coal, oil, and gas? 80 to 85% energy comes from this fuels. What is the problem? Huh? They are non. First of all, we don't have it. We are a very energy poor country. India spends 12 lakh crore rupees every single year on energy import, which is equal to 50% of our foreign exchange. Whatever money is earned in terms of dollars, 50% goes in just buying energy. Imagine if you don't have that money, what will happen? The same thing which has happened to Sri Lanka just now. You know what is happening in Sri Lanka? They ran short of foreign exchange. Therefore, they couldn't buy oil. And therefore, the supply chain has been disturbed. And therefore, despite having their own currency, full pocket, they do not have food. That can happen to our country also, because we import 85% crude oil, we import 60% gas, we import 20-30% coal, we import 80% nuclear fuel. That can happen to our country also. But that's not a big problem. Their non-renewable is also not a big problem. The bigger problem is they are all carbon. Coal is carbon, petrol, diesel is carbon, LPG is carbon, CNG is carbon. So what's the problem with the carbon? Carbon plus oxygen equal to energy plus. Every time when you use this equation, this happens. By any chance, are you responsible for this equation? By any chance? Hello? Are you brushing your teeth every day? Yes? Your neighbors would know if you're doing it or not. When you brush your teeth, you're responsible for a hell lot of carbon dioxide emission. You know that? To brush your teeth, you require toothpaste that has to be manufactured. Then somebody has to package it. Then you have to transport it. So I don't know how many 100,000 kilometers. You don't know where your toothpaste is manufactured. Then somebody has to keep in the store. And in the modern world, toothpaste is kept in air-conditioned hall in malls, right? Look at the amount of energy that's bringing toothpaste to your hand. Then same story of toothbrush. Manufacture it, package it, transport it, store it. Is the toothbrush and toothpaste enough to brush your teeth? No. You require water. For water, you require pipe, iron, plastic. Is that enough? No. You require motor. For motor, you require magnets and coppers and steel. You require overhead tanks. Is that enough? No. What else? You need wash basin, ceramic, 2000 degrees centigrade. You have to melt. A lot of energy is required to make ceramic. Is that enough? No. To look at your beautiful face, you need a mirror, another high temperature material. Then you need bulb, you need electricity to run everything. Just a simple activity of brushing your teeth every single day, 3 to 5 minutes. So much arrangement is required, so much energy is required. Imagine what you're doing every second of your life. Sleeping, working, every time, every second of your life, you are responsible for CO2 emission. Why? Because 85% of this energy we use on an average in the world comes from coal, oil, and gas. All right, you're responsible for CO2 emission. Is that clear? Where we are emitting this CO2? What do we do with CO2? Suppose at home your mother is cooking or you're cooking, you're burning LPG, you're producing carbon dioxide. What do you do with the carbon dioxide coming out of your kitchen? By the way, you know that you're producing carbon dioxide from the kitchen. What do you do with it? Just release in the air. Is air your father's property? No, grandfather's property, grandmother's property. No, we behave as if this atmosphere is your father's property and you can throw anything in it as much as you want. As a result of that, can you minimize this? Can you minimize it? It's very important to shift this, So for thousands and thousands of years, your carbon dioxide level was this. Thousands of millions of years. It was like this, constant. But what happened? Enough. What happened in the last 1850? This is 1800, 1850. Imagine, look what is happening after 1850. This is the carbon dioxide. How fast it is increasing. Right now, as I'm talking to you, there is 50% extra carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. 50% extra. Who has caused this change? I. Because this eye has become very dangerous. The eye is the most stupid animal on the planet, I keep saying. But eye is also the most dangerous animal on the planet. So dangerous that in the entire atmosphere of the planet, our planet is not a small ball, right? Big planet. Of the entire atmosphere, we have changed the concentration of carbon dioxide by 50%. The problem is, this is a garbage of the atmosphere. It's a colorless and smellless gas. So whatever pollution that you see, it's not carbon dioxide. You can't see it, you can't feel it, you can't smell it, but it is there. That is the danger of it. 50%, it's a garbage of the atmosphere. You know how much garbage that we are throwing? You know how much kitchen garbage that you throw in the atmosphere? How much kitchen garbage that you throw in the atmosphere per day, per month? One family is about 1 to 2 kilograms, vegetable waste and all those things. You know how much carbon dioxide that you throw in the atmosphere? 400 to 600 kilograms per month, or average middle class family is throwing. 10 times more than your kitchen garbage. The third problem is, once it is emitted in the atmosphere, it has life of 300 years. All the AC that we are enjoying today, right now, all the lights we are enjoying today, right now, it is going to have impact for how many years? Average 300 years. It can go up to 1,000 years. So 300 years carbon dioxide is going to be there in the atmosphere, and it is going to do something. What it is going to do? The carbon dioxide is called greenhouse gas. It is having greenhouse effect. What is greenhouse effect? Trapping of the heat. It traps the heat. So whatever act of we are doing right now, it is going to have impact for 300 years. For 300 years, it is going to trap the heat. And what is going to do? Because the heat is getting trapped, the temperature, surface temperature of the planet itself is increasing. But the problem is, look at the rate it is increasing. And look at the last 7-8 years. It's going beyond the normal trend. That is what is happening in this world. Okay. So what? If the temperature is increasing, what's the problem? Right now, the global temperature of the surface, average surface temperature is 1.19 degrees centigrade, more than what it used to be. More than what it used to be, which is equal to 2.14 degree Fahrenheit. There are two scales of temperature, degree centigrade, degree Fahrenheit. 2.14. Is that a big change in the temperature of the surface temperature of the planet? Big change. Body temperature is 97, 98 degree Fahrenheit, right? Suppose body temperature increases by 2 degree Fahrenheit, what happens? It becomes 100 degree. When body temperature becomes 100 degree, what we say? We got a fever. Body has got the fever. Planet's temperature is increased by 2 degree Fahrenheit. Can we say planet has got the fever? Hello? My God. Planet has got the fever. Who has caused this fever? I. When you get a fever, you take paracetamol tablet. Is there any paracetamol we can give it to our planet? No, nothing. When you get fever, you can't eat properly, you can't sleep properly, you can't work properly, you can't study properly. Similar to that, our planet also cannot behave properly because of this fever. As a result of all kind of erratic things are happening on the planet. Everything that can go wrong is going wrong. Everything. Floods. Right now what is happening in India? Floods in Assam. How many people are affected? 50 lakh people. Not one day floods. 15-20 days going on. 15-20 days. And it's not only Assam. Australia, couple of months back, people died. Before that, Western Europe. Germany, France, Belgium, 150 people in Western Europe dying because of the floods. Can you imagine the level of floods? 150 people died. Floods in China, Japan, Brazil, Peru, Saudi Arabia. You know what is Saudi Arabia? A desert country. Floods in desert country. Wow. Imagine how much imbalance it is there. Opposite of the floods is forest fires. Have you heard of Amazon forest fire? After that, Australian forest fire, California, Greece, Italy, Turkey, Russia, Siberia. You know, the cold countries also having forest fires. How big? Millions of acres of forest is getting burned. Billions of animals and insects are getting burned alive. Does it affect you? Yes, because every animal and insect is part of the ecosystem. There was a report which said that if all the animals and insects of the planet are killed, the human life will finish in 3 months. That's it. You can't survive without animals and insects and on the planet for more than 3 months because they are so essential for your survival. All the food that is grown, if you take 1 cubic centimeter of the soil and look at the in microscope, you'll find lots of insects are there which are important for your food production. Forest fires are taking place. Temperature is rising, so ice is melting on the North Pole and South Pole. Not only ice is melting, the ice melt is accelerating. On the Antarctica, this year, one of the famous photography, if you are interested, some of the scientists in Antarctica taken a photograph with the, bare chested. Why? Because the temperature of that station, which is supposed to be minus 50 degrees centigrade, went to minus 12 degrees centigrade. 38 degrees centigrade, higher than the normal temperature. 38 degrees centigrade. Imagine the temperature of, let's say, Ranchi is 40 degree and it goes to 78 degrees centigrade. That happened this year. So ice is melting. Where is the ice water going? In the sea. And look what is happening in this. Sea level is rising. You know what is the rate? 3.3 millimeter per year. 3.3. It's not a pond, right? Sea means infinite body of water itself is rising with the rate of 3.3 millimeter per year. Imagine what is happening. And this is the image of Jakarta, Indonesia's capital, world's fastest sinking city. The government of Indonesia is spending $30 billion to do what? Shift the capital city to some other place. Would they spend $30 billion in renewable energy? No. We will not do normal things. No? We will first create a problem and then we are going to solve it later by spending more money. Recently, I was in Odisha, about 25 days back. So I heard about some villages. I went there. It was very difficult to reach there. But when I reached there, it was literally a shock. There used to be a cluster of 7 villages called Sadbaya. But right now, no villages there. You know what? They're all under the sea. I saw a temple and a broken temple now because it's gone. It is under the sand now. Imagine the villagers told me, some of the people who are still left and they don't want to go. He said the coast used to be about 2.5 kilometers away from that place. But every last 30 years, every year they could see the sea is coming 25, 30 feet, further and further. And last 7, 8 years, it's coming very rapidly. What a painful sight it was. And to see that, to feel that change in the climate, personally, I've been hearing about this is happening, that is happening, but that is 4 cities in India, Chennai, Mumbai, Visakhapatnam, and Kochi, will be significantly submerged in water by 2050, another 30 years. Heat waves. Have you all experienced heat wave this summer? But it's happening all over the world. I mean, Canada, 49.6 degrees centigrade. Can you imagine Canada, 49.6 degrees centigrade temperature of a city? 950 people died within 3 days because of the heat wave. And the government, Canadian government, so powerful, technologically, economically, couldn't do anything. What I'm saying is, oh, this I'm not doing it. Who is doing this? Go back. Okay, so what I'm saying is the entire balance of the planet has been lost, and it cannot behave anymore. It cannot behave the same, and we are all going to see. The question is, what next? What is going to happen next? What will happen 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line? Climate scientist tells us that, look guys, what we need to do is global temperature. We have to do everything possible to ideally limit the global temperature to 1.5 degrees centigrade above normal, as compared to the pre-industrial time, 1.5 degrees centigrade or maximum 2 degrees centigrade. Why? Why is this number so important, 1.5 degrees centigrade? They say this is one of the most important number for the every human being on this planet. Not the job, not the salary, not your number of address of your home, but one of the most important thing is this 1.5 degrees. What is going to happen at 1.5 degrees centigrade? Will there be sudden disaster and everybody will die? Will that happen? No. Nothing like that will happen. There will not be any disaster that will happen and everybody will die. You know, I keep telling people, don't worry. इतनी आसान मौत नहीं मिलने वाली. You will not die so easily, no? Nature will not kill you so easily. How is nature going to kill you? You know, movies में, if there is a dangerous villain, how does a dangerous villain kills a hero? Slowly, तड़पा तड़पा के, ना? Nature कैसे मारने वाली है? तड़पा तड़पा. ये जोर से बोलना चाहिए ताकि याद रहे सबको. Nature कैसे मारने वाली है? तड़पा तड़पा. Because what will happen at 1.5 degrees centigrade? The change in the climate will start to become irreversible. And by 2 degrees centigrade, it will be completely irreversible. What does it mean? Beyond that, if every human being on the planet becomes sent, and they decide कि आज से लंगोट पहन के घूमेंगे, कुछ नहीं करेंगे, still you cannot reverse the climate change. You cannot. It's an irreversible process. पढ़ा है physics में कभी? Irreversible process. You can't. It's like Lakshman Rekha. You can go to that side, you can't come back. It's like that. So we need to do everything possible to limit the global temperature below 1.5 degrees centigrade. Would you like to do that? Would you like to do something for this? Yes. Only one big voice? Yes. Second problem, you don't have time. Even if you want to do something, you don't have time. The amount of time left before the global temperature reaches 1.5 degrees centigrade depends on how much more carbon dioxide you can pump in the atmosphere. And for 1.5 degrees centigrade, it's 270 billion tons. For 2 degrees centigrade, it's 1050 billion tons. Looks like a big number. But the problem is the rate at which we are emitting. Can you all read this number? How much? 13.3 lakh kilograms of carbon dioxide is emitted in how much time? Just 1 second, my God. And how much is 1 second? 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. How much in this time? 13.3 lakh kilogram of carbon dioxide is going like this from all over the planet. Imagine how dangerous we are. 13.3 lakh kilogram of carbon dioxide in just 1 second time. You divide this number by this number, you get the amount of time left with us. Any guess? Do we have 500 years? 200 years, 100 years, 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, 20 years, 10 years? No. 7 years and 43 days. On 9th June, not today. Today we don't have so many. There is what is called the climate clock. You know, you can all find on Google, you know, do search and look at it every single day. The climate clock. The clock tells you that how much time is left before we reach global warming of 1.5 degrees centigrade. 7 years and 43 days. So congratulations to all of you, for having such a wonderful problem right in front. So would you like to do something? Yes. And the question is whether we can do something or not. And if you want to do something, two things. This whole problem is created because of the use of energy. The whole problem can be solved by energy only. There cannot be any other means. So we need to change the energy use pattern. But two conditions you have to qualify. The change has to be drastic and immediate. You have to make a drastic change. You can't do a small change and be happy about it. Unfortunate part is that 99% people in the world do not even understand what does it mean. So many people feel happy about plantation. Do you think plantation is a drastic change? No. Even if everybody starts doing plantation today, you cannot stop climate change. A lot of organizations are working to make the whole world plastic free. Making the world plastic free is a drastic change? No. The main cause is energy. You have to make drastic change in energy use pattern. And that too immediately. Drastic and immediate change. Question is, can we really do this? Because we all want growth, right? Everybody wants growth. Growth is fueled by energy. 85% energy comes from coal, oil and gas, which is going to result in carbon dioxide emission, which is going to cause climate change. So if you want growth, we need to increase in energy supply. If you want reduce climate change, you need to decrease in energy supply. What should I do? What should we do? Increase energy supply or decrease energy supply? Change energy supply. That may not solve the problem. I'll tell you why. Even changing energy supply, making everything solar is also not going to solve the problem. I'll tell you why. But you understand the contradiction we are in? Every time country celebrates, oh, our consumption has increased by 5%, 3%, GDP has increased. You do not know that every time such number is announced, you're creating so many more problems for yourself, you know. And I keep saying that this is not a problem of climate change anymore. It is not a problem of change in temperature or weather system. It is a problem of survivability of human life on the planet. Whether human life can survive or not itself is a challenge, a question mark. And Dalai Lama said, you know, more and more people are realizing that existence of humanity is at stake. Only doing prayers, pranayam and meditation is not going to be enough. We need to take some action. These are the words 1.5 years back. Existence itself is a question mark. And I keep saying anybody who solves this problem should just not get 1 or 2 Nobel Prizes. He should get 8 to 10 Nobel Prizes, because it is about the entire humanity on the planet. Anybody wants a Nobel Prize here? Nobel Prize? No? Nobody wants a Nobel Prize? My God. We should do something, you know. If I what? Oh, they can still you know, aim for Nobel Prize. You know? There are many categories of Nobel Prizes. You know? So this is a problem, and how do we solve? So we need a drastic immediate action. What could be drastic and immediate action? According to me, we need to switch to solar energy 100%, not 99%, 100%. That too by this means surrendering electricity connection, not the standard way, you know, put so many megawatts of power plant and be happy. No, that is not going to work, and I'll explain. So we need to, is this going to be a drastic? If we all switch to solar energy 100%, will that be a drastic? What is the second condition? When should we do this? Immediately, today. So when you go home today, you know, write a love letter to Jharkhand Electricity Board. You know, what are you going to write? He said, okay, dear board, I've been taking your electricity. Finally, my eyes are open today, and I'm going to generate my own electricity with solar, and therefore I do not need your connection. Kindly take back your connection. No? Yours truly. Thank you. Will you all write this? Do this, you know, important, because this is not your choice. This is a compulsion. So if not today, do it tomorrow. If not tomorrow, do it this month. If not this month, do it this year. If not this year, within 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, as soon as possible, switch your life 100% to solar. By the way, how many of you are using solar energy right now? 1 person, 2 people, 3. Okay. By the way, how many of you are eating food every day? Okay. Some people have doubt whether they eat food every day or not. Is it possible to grow food without solar energy? No. So if you're eating food means you are using energy. Are you breathing all the time? Is it possible to produce oxygen without solar energy? No. So if you're breathing means you're using solar energy. Are you drinking water every day? Is it possible to run a water cycle without solar energy? No. So if you're drinking water, you're using solar energy. So let me ask the question again, once again. How many of you are using solar energy? Wow. What a revelation in your life, right? Thank God before dying, you realize that you're using solar energy. We, the stupid animal, have forgotten that our existence is solar energy. The human life is not possible. And in our life, we are using solar energy left and right. We are the big user of solar energy. So if your lights and fans and TV and ACs and all also run on solar energy, what's the big deal? But look at how big deal it is to use solar energy today. Everywhere I go, the first and second and third sentence, people tell me, sir, we have so much of solar here and so much of solar there. So solar has to be the part of life, but we, the modern human, has many characteristics. I told you some of them. I'll tell you one more. What are the characteristics? 3 characteristics already. We are the most stupid animal. Second, we are the most dangerous animal. Third, most ignorant. We do not even know that we use solar energy. Fourth, we are expert in doing what? In solving one problem and creating. See, everybody knows it. Such a loud voice. That is not correct. Earlier, we used to solve one problem and create another. Now we are more advanced and expert. Now we solve one problem and create 2 more problems. Why? Because we are people from 21st century. So problems are increasing. So therefore, there has to be some rules to do things. Like at your home, there are rules, right? You cook in the kitchen, you sleep in the bedroom, you study somewhere. There are rules. Planet is our bigger house. There has to be rules on living on this planet, isn't it? You can't do things blindly in anything and everything that you want. You simply cannot do this. So therefore, I have written what is called fundamental laws of existence on this planet. If human race want to survive on this planet, we have to follow this 2 laws. You can't afford to violate any one of them. Both of them has to be followed. And I keep telling you, you can write on the walls of IIM today, that Professor Solanki mentioned this. 2 fundamental laws of existence. What is this? First is limit your consumption. Second is localize your production. Limit your consumption. The current economic model tells you that produce more and consume more. Gandhiji told 100 years back, what he said? There is only enough in the world for everyone's need, not for anyone's greed. Why did he say this 100 years back? There was no climate change, there was no pollution, everything was perfectly fine. Still he said, no, you can't do this. You can only satisfy your needs, not greed. Why? Because the entire planet and all its resources are fixed and finite. Everything is fixed. If population becomes double, can we all come together and stretch our planet and make it bigger? Can we increase the amount of soil on the planet, water on the planet, minerals? Nothing. Absolutely everything is fixed. But this modern human, what does he think? Oh, no, GDP should increase, production should increase, consumption should increase. Is it possible? No. Everything you're taking from a fixed thing, is it possible to increase? No, it is not. If your salary is fixed, your expenses has to be fixed. So all you must be reading in all your management, these are the techniques to grow production. That's not possible. Wake up. It's only possible under one condition. You know what? जब चोरी करेंगे तो possible. And are you all stealing things? No? Okay, let us realize what is stealing. When you take 100 rupees from someone and give it back, you said, I have borrowed money, right? When you take 100 rupees from someone and never give it back, what do you call it? Stealing. We, the modern human, with all our science and technology, we are super chore, For example, with your tube well, let's say a simple example, tube well. What do we do with the tube well technology? We learned how to take water from underground. Have you ever learned how to put water back? No. As a result of that, water table is going down? Yes or no? What does it mean? Are we stealing water? चोरी कर रहे हैं पानी की? अच्छा, जो चोरी करते हैं उसको क्या बोलते हैं? चोर. Very nice. Who is चोर? हाँ. Beautiful smiling chores are sitting here, so many of them. We are stealing every single resource which is not ours. Forest has cut down by 30%, 33%. Your father planted it? No, but you've taken it. Rivers, polluted. Minerals, not yours. And we are stealing. Stealing from whom? Is the next question. From whom we are stealing? Who is not going to get that water? Suppose water is available at 500 feet today, and because you are using it tomorrow, 20 years later, it will be available at 600 feet. Who will not get it at 500 feet? And not anybody's future generation. Your own future generation, your own children will not get it. So the stealing is happening from whom? Our own children. What can be more disastrous than this? You steal from your own children. And that is what we are stealing. We are living a stolen life. There is what is concept called Earth Overshoot Day. You should look at this, Earth Overshoot Day. Earth Overshoot Day simply measures by how much time we are overshooting the consumption of resources. Nature has certain limits, capacity to generate water and soil and all. Right now, we consume all the resources generated by Earth in a year by some July, end of July. And from August till the December 31st, we live on a stolen resources. And that's why it is important to limit the consumption of everything that we use, because everything is finite. Is that clear to all? Second rule is localize your production. Again, it is all against the theories you must be reading in your management and all engineering theories. What does everybody say? Centralize, get the benefit of economy of scale. But it is also fact that every single year the economic gap is increasing, isn't it? The gap is increasing every time economic report comes. So, and as a result, when there is a disparity, whenever we centralize solution, the fruits are always unequally distributed. As a result of that, there's an inequity in the world. As a result of that, there will be lack of peace, ashanti, violence. Is that what is happening in this world last 50 years? Science is growing, technology is growing, economy is growing. Is the brotherhood also growing? No. Love between people growing? No. Is the violence growing? Because of the wrong economic model, which results in distribution, the unequal distribution. So therefore, the better model is localize your production. When you localize, then it will be more equally distributed, then there'll be peace. And love and peace is very important ingredient of our life. We cannot live and survive on this planet if you don't have this resource. So till your last breath, till you die, do not forget this. What are the things? First rule is limit your consumption, and second, localize your everything. Water, limit your consumption, localize your production. Localize means recharge locally. Food, limit your consumption, localize your production. Clothes, limit your consumption, localize your production. Energy, the biggest culprit of the whole game. If you want to use energy, rule number one is limit your consumption. There cannot be any alternative to this. Rule number two is localize your production. You first limit, and once you limit it, produce it locally. Don't bring it from 500 and 1,000 and 10,000 kilometers. Some of the coal that India imports come from Australia, 10,000 kilometers. Look at the journey that it travels, trains and ships and whatnot before it comes and lit your light. So don't do this. Okay, these are the two rules which are important. And when we apply this to energy, it becomes energy Saraj. And that's the whole idea. I feel that energy Saraj is a solution to the climate change. Not just replacing this energy by that. Everything is replaced by solar energy or it's still gone. And therefore, to switch to solar energy, I have created 3-step approach. AMG, I call it. Avoid, minimize, and generate. Step number one is avoid the use of energy as much as possible. Even if it is solar energy, please do not use solar energy also if possible. Avoid it. I'm a professor of solar energy. I'm a brand ambassador of solar energy. And my job is to promote solar energy. But what is the rule number one? Avoid solar energy also. Why? Because there is absolutely no manufacturing in this world which does not have side effect. Nothing. When you brush your teeth, you have environmental impact. When you're wearing clothes, you are having environmental impact. When you're ironing your clothes, you are having environmental impact. Every manufacturing is going to have impact on the environment. So therefore, don't use solar energy also. Avoid it. Avoid means don't use it. What can be avoided? In this hall, what can be avoided? What energy use can be avoided? See, we are all the smart people, not human, everybody. We make this beautiful hall and then beautiful windows and put beautiful curtains on it. And we put the curtains on, switch on the lights. There's so much of light outside the window. But we are the smart people, intelligent people of modern world. We do this without realizing this light that is running right now must be burning coal somewhere right now and resulting in carbon dioxide. That can be avoided. I think backside, if I switch off 4 lights, nothing will happen, isn't it? If 20% of this light will switch off, what will happen? What will happen to this room? Can we try this immediately? I'll show you. Are these lights? Okay. Okay, fine. Good enough for example. So now this is less light. Can you still see me? I can also see you. Now because there is a less light, anybody feeling discomfort, anything? Anybody feel like vomiting or something like this? No, they still can work. What does it mean? That all the light that I switched off, we were not using it. What we were doing? Misusing it. And believe me, when I'm traveling across, 30 to 40% energy that we use is not even required. So much of wastage that we see around. So avoid. What else can be avoided? I have avoided ironing my clothes, no? Because it takes a lot of energy. The tube light is only 20 watt and 30 watt and 40 watt. The iron is 700 watts. 20 times more power it takes. So you can stop. If everybody start wearing without clothes without ironing, that becomes a normal thing. What else can be avoided? When I started looking at my home, what can be avoided? First thing I saw is refrigerator. Can we avoid refrigerator? You know, Krishna loved butter and milk like anything. And we have seen so many posters of Lord Krishna. In any poster in the background, have you ever seen a photo of refrigerator? No, Krishna was living without refrigerator. For centuries and centuries, humans lived without refrigerator. We got spoiled only recently. Since when we started using refrigerator? Maybe 30 years back, 20 years back, isn't it? Before that, there's nothing, or not so many people. So we can live without refrigerator. You know, the most perishable item is milk. Just boil twice. Nothing will happen. Eat vegetables fresh. That's what doctor suggests. Don't keep your food in the refrigerator, because when you make it cool and heat it up, there is what is called tamasic energy. No? That increases. The energy itself goes down. And whatever you are going to, jaisa ann vaisa man bolte, right? If you are going to eat that kind of food, your mind is going to be like that. Don't do that. Good idea? Okay? Very nice. So when you go home today, you know, do one thing. Go to OLX and sell your refrigerator. Before your mind changes again. At my home, there is no fridge, there is no geyser, there is no AC. It's not that I'm a poor person. I'm professor of IIT Bombay, right? But because every time when you use AC for 1 hour, 1 unit of electricity takes. Every time when you take baths with the good hot water, 1 unit of electricity. Every time your fridge is used for 1 day, 1 unit of electricity. And that 1 unit of electricity results in 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide emission. And that 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide remains in the atmosphere for 300 years. So your comfort of 1 day, 1 hour is discomfort for 300 years. एक दिन का सुख है फ्रिज का उपयोग करने का, उसका दुख कब तक का है? 300 साल तक. कौन भुगतने वाला है? Who is going to bear that? You know, I will die, so I will not be there for 300 future generations. How many generations? 300 years means 10 generations at least. What do you call such an act? You do, but your 10 generations, your own 10 generations, not somebody else. Your own 10 generations are going to bear it. What do you call such an act? क्या बोलेंगे इसको? Huh? Criminal. It's more than criminal. I mean, criminal you affect. It's nothing less than a paap, isn't it? Sin. 10 generations. Yes or no? That's what we are doing, right? And I keep telling, you know, acha, if it is a sin, जो पाप करता है उसको क्या बोलते हैं? And next question is, who is papi? That's what we are doing. You destroyed the base of our life. I keep telling the old people, the parents, I keep telling, please from today, stop saying I love you to your children, you know, because the base of life you have taken away. For living life on this planet, you require 3 things first: air, water, and soil. Computer and mobile for all secondary. No parents can guarantee clean air, clean water, and clean soil. Isn't it? How disaster it is. So let's learn how to avoid the use of energy, and energy is everything, right? So you automatically will learn avoid wastage of water, wastage. If you cannot avoid, the next step is minimize the use of energy. How do I minimize it? use energy, but use it very efficiently. For example, LED lights, you know that they take less than half energy. So when they take less than half energy, the CO2 emissions reduces by half. For example, there are fans like BLDC fans. New fans are available, BLDC. They take less than half of the energy, only 20 watt, 25 watt. Fridge should be avoided, but if you cannot avoid it, minimize it. How do I minimize it? Use small. Don't buy 3 doors and 4 doors refrigerator. You know? People are trying to make room inside the refrigerator. They buy such a big fridge. And you know what they do? They keep, achar inside the refrigerator. उससे बड़ा पाप दुनिया में नहीं हो सकता ना, फ्रिज में अचार रख के खाना. AC should not be used, but if at all you want to use AC, do not make a big room, because what AC is doing, cooling the roof, cooling the walls, cooling the floor, cooling the furniture, and finally cooling the small body 6 feet by 2 feet. Look at what a battamiz use of AC, isn't it? So much space you are cooling for small surface area. Why? Isko karna hai to chota bana lo kahin pe. Then you don't need such a strong air conditioner. So minimize the use of energy. The third thing is generate only 1/3. 1/3 avoid, 1/3 minimize. Generate only 1/3. Where you should generate? Or on your own roof. Do not bring it from 1,000 kilometers. Generate yourself. This building should generate its own electricity. Your house should generate its own electricity as much as possible. In industry, it may not be possible always. But do this. Follow this rule. Generate it locally. I hope all of you will remember this. AMG, will you all remember? A means avoid, M means, and G means how much? 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. And if you're not going to follow this rule, AMG, you will have to say OMG, oh my God, solar energy is expensive. Oh my God, rooftop space is not there. Oh my God, policy is not there, subsidy is not there, this is not there, that is not there. All kind of excuses will come. But if you follow this rule, you do not need anybody. You can become independent any given day without actually much of expenditure. And that's why I believe that the energy Saraj, or energy independence, energy Atmanirbharta, is a very powerful tool. Not only for our country, for every country, Africa, America, Germany, Japan, India. If we become independent in energy, that is the most powerful thing to happen in the current context. And the best way to become independent, country to become independent, is we become individual independent. That is what is energy Swaraj. And when we do this, it is going to solve many other problems. Job creation, for example. If everybody starts becoming independent, we need a lot of people to install and repair and maintain. So a lot of jobs will be created. And when jobs will be created everywhere locally, the local economy will become stronger. When we become independent, country will become independent. We don't have to import so much of fuel, 12 lakh crore rupees. Our energy security will increase, the strength of the country will increase, foreign exchange will be saved, and climate change will be mitigated. See, so many benefits of just approach, adopting the right approach. And that's why in 2019, we have taken part in a global competition of IEEE. And there were 459 teams. We have beaten all the teams at national level, Asia level. In the final round, there were 3 teams from each continent, 21 teams. So we have beaten all of them, and we were the global winner of the award with the prize money of $100,000 US. I donated that money and created this foundation. It's called Energy Swaraj Foundation. And the whole purpose of the foundation is to establish Energy Swaraj everywhere in the world. I also believe that it is impossible for any government alone to solve and take care of the climate change problem. It's impossible. You can't do that. Why? Governments are elected for short term, and they will, their own, I think their resources are limited. They do not have a lot of money. Also, we see last 30-40 years, there have been so many international agreements. Kyoto Protocol, you heard of? Paris Agreement, 2015. COP meetings every single year. Prime Minister is going and attending, all kind of things. What is the agreement all about? Paris Agreement. Reduce your carbon emission by half till 2030. It was decided in 2015 that we should all reduce our carbon emission by half. I was so happy. Wow, finally. So 2016 CO2 emission should go down, 17 further. You know what is happening? It's going up every year, 1.7%. To me, really looks like humans have decided कि अब धरती पे नहीं रहना है. हो गया. Enough. Utter nonsense. I mean, and whatever is happening right in front of our eyes. Barack Obama, ex-president of US, he said, This generation is the first generation to experience the climate change. And this generation will be the last generation to do something about it. Why? Because the change is happening so fast. I told you, climate clock, so little time is available. If we are not going to take any action right now, you will never have any chance to take any action. So therefore, I believe it has to become a public movement. Governments can't do this, industries can't do this. Who has crossed the climate change? Who is going to solve it? And to solve the problem, we need to reduce our energy consumption. And for that, it has to become the fashion of the modern world. What should be the fashion? I do not have electricity consumption at home. That has to be the fashion. I'm part of the pollution. I'm part of the solution. That has to be the fashion. In front of your home and your office, there should be flag. We say that this office, this home does not emit carbon dioxide. Then there will be fashion. When you start saying that I'm not wearing iron clothes or I'm leading a low energy life, then it becomes a fashion. If anybody is coming at your home with BMW, don't let him in. Why? Because this guy is using a lot of energy and emitting a lot of carbon dioxide. So BMW wale ko ghar nahi aane dena. Then it becomes a fashion. I have 2 daughters and we have decided that whenever they will get married, in their marriage function, we are only going to invite those people who come without ironing their clothes. Anybody comes with ironing clothes, we say namaste kalana. That has to become fashion of the modern world. If not, nothing can solve the problem. No amount of science and technology, 5G network, 10G network, Mars, Moon, nothing will solve the problem. So it has to become the public moment. And that's why I left my home for 11 years. I'm not going to go home for 11 years. I left in 2020. I will go home in 2031. It's not that a professor from IIT became crazy. No, dimag ka screw dila ho gaya, to achanak ghar chhod diya. But the problem is so huge. So I live in this bus. This is not bus by the way, this is my home. There's a bed inside, there is a kitchen inside, there's a washroom inside, there's a training room inside, there's an office inside, there's a library inside, there's a temple inside, and also there is a garden inside. There are solar panels on the top. So all energy requirements are actually fulfilled with the solar panels. The engine of the bus does not run on solar. That's not enough electricity is not generated, but every household requirements are actually fulfilled. Would you like to visit my home? It's just outside. You're most welcome to come and visit. So that's why I said every individual has to start taking action that we can become a moment. And there are a list of action items that I would like to propose. Would you like to take some action? Yes. Great. Action number 1 is become literate of energy. We are all illiterate. 99% people do not even know where it is coming, where it is going, how much CO2 is emitting, how do I reduce my consumption, what is the impact on the climate, what is the current status of climate. Nobody knows. People do not, even most educated people also do not know. So one of the, as I said, the first step to solve the climate change problem is become energy literate. So there is a training course that I have developed available at this learn.energysaraj.org. It's a free course. It's only 3 hours divided into 12 modules. Do this course. I guarantee you that something will happen in your life. And anybody who does this course, something will happen in their life. Why? Because it's a very, very important and powerful course. Would you all do this? Yes. Great. Action number 2 is it's not enough that you do this course. Why? Because if you are reducing your carbon emission, but if your Padosi is not reducing, you're still going to pay for it, isn't it? Why? Because once carbon dioxide is in the air, it doesn't know who has emitted, you or neighbor or Pakistan or Afghanistan. Everybody is going to be the same. So therefore ensure that everybody becomes energy literate. So with all your social network and this and that, and spread this, make it as a mission. Once you become energy literate, within a year, bring 100 other people, your friends, family members, relatives, go to the other school, colleges. I cannot go everywhere, but you can help me to reach everywhere and make sure that become energy literate. Third is take action, do something. It's not enough to become aware that climate change hai, and like a parrot, keep saying climate change, and doing nothing. That's not going to work. Do something. What you can do? Start reducing your energy consumption. Like I showed an example, we are all still comfortable, isn't it? We already saved some 5%, 10% electricity. We can, if you become aware about it, you can do this. Institute, I don't know if Professor Bala is still there, but I would like to recommend him to take this as a mission to ensure that everybody becomes energy literate. Number two, reduce electricity consumption of IIM Ranchi, become the role model for the society. And I'm afraid that they are not doing it the right way, because all this modern, Griha rating and this, they are designed that the highest level of PAP is this, and how much you discount the PAP, you get, if you get bigger discount, you get 5-star rating. No, that's not the right way. So I'm fully confident that they are not doing in the right manner.
Maybe because that
yeah, that's how they do. So as I said, 99% people do not even understand what the problem is, and they will do all kind of glass and then put air conditioned and do this, and they'll eventually prove that you are less papi than others, but that level is still so high as compared to what it should be. Anyway, so reduce your electricity consumption. Fifth is convert one of your room and home on solar by yourself. Don't ask anybody. There are small trainings that I have developed, or you can just look at, start doing yourself. It's so simple to use solar energy. Convert your one room into solar, or in your college, convert one classroom into solar. Do it yourself. Solar has to be the part of everybody's life. Don't make it special. We exist because of solar energy. Number 6, start your energy Saraj club. Form a club, and with the club, you can take many activities. You can do all of things. Good idea. I call it as a action node of the moment. If the moment has to happen, it will happen from the academic institution, and academic institution is going to be the node of such a moment, because this is the where the life of future generation is nurtured and shaped. So all older people are not going to bother. I'm very clear about it now. They will not bother. You know why? Because in 20-30 years they will be all in the heavens or the hell, wherever, depending on their work. But you guys are going to be behind, going to suffer more. And therefore, it is important to take situation in your control. Action number 7 is make it as a movement. So reach out to the public. Tell them that, look, guys, climate change is a serious business, and we are all in a big trouble. Talk about it. Talk about energy Saraj Yatra. Talk about how to become solar power and independent and all. All of you on your phone, you can do a quick thing. If you're all following Instagram, you can follow me, and I keep posting. My Instagram ID is Dr. Chetan Solanki. DrChetan. Dr. Chetan Solanki. Got it? Just follow me. There is also in the bio, you will find the ID of Energy Saraj @energy_Saraj. You can follow that also. If you are on Twitter, same email ID, same ID, Dr. Chetan Solanki on Twitter. Okay. Done? Okay, great. Thanks. So you can do this. We have also decided that we will not take any funds from the government, because I believe that it is for the public, and public at large has to become part of it. And we don't take any funds from the government. How do I run the show of this foundation? By public support. So you can become the member of the foundation. Institute can become the member. You can contribute anything. When you go into the bus, there is a Paytm sticker. Whatever you want to contribute, you can do this. All many other way you can contribute. If any point of your life, if you want to contribute for the society, come and join and become a volunteer, whatever it is. Anybody wants to become volunteer for the moment? Think about it. It's a very serious thing, and this is also an opportunity to make an impact in the world. And that's what we are trying to do. So anytime if you feel want to join, or want to join me in the bus for some time, 1 week, 10 days, whatever, you just want to see what happens in the bus. It's such a great fun, I mean, the kind of thing we enjoy, nobody else can enjoy on the planet, I can tell you. We just stop anywhere, cook anywhere, do anything. And of course, we also work. We are not just so we can do this, become part of it, and take a challenge for some time, 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever, contribute in terms of your brain and in terms of your efforts also. So that's it from my side, and I would like to summarize whatever we are discussing, but I would like to take your help to summarize. I'm going to put 3 fill in the blanks, and you need to fill the blanks. Okay, ready? Climate is not changing, climate has changed already. We can all feel the impact in our own life. and millions of people are terribly getting affected right now. It is only the matter of time before our and your life gets affected. Very nice. Very important. Who has caused the change? I have caused the change because I am the one who's consuming the resources. And who will be the solution provider? I will be the solution provider because I have caused the change. Great. We need to take this and do the action right now immediately. If not, if we fail to take action, then by the end of this century, 78 years from now, the change in the temperature will be estimated to be 3° minimum up to 6° centigrade. Right now, how much is the change? 1.1 degree centigrade. And if within 1.1 degree, imagine what is happening. What will happen when it is 3° centigrade, 4°, 5°, 6°? There's a big question mark whether human life will survive or not. Maybe 80 years from now, 100 years from now, maybe 120, 150 years. If all those people who are going to survive, how many of the number, what will be the number? And those who are going to survive, in what shape and size they are going to survive? It's already big question mark. So before it becomes too late, let us start taking an action. Otherwise, we say that once upon a time, there were dinosaurs on the planet. They are not there anymore. They got extinct because of the climate change. Should not happen that 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years later, a new species will appear on the planet, and they will say, once upon a time, there were. My God, what are we talking in this beautiful evening? There were humans on the planet, but our science, our data, our experience is suggesting that we are heading into that direction. So before it becomes too late, let us start taking action so that we can create a better and beautiful world for yourself and your future generation. So with this, thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. If there are any questions, I can take some questions. Well, why did I start? Because I felt that, first of all, world is not doing enough. And the proof is that the climate change is worsening every single year, right? So whatever, either we are not understanding, or if we are understanding, we are not doing enough. And I felt that if I am in capacity to do something, I should do something. But that doing something should not be a feel-good factor. Otherwise I could have nicely be sitting in IIT Bombay, write proposals, get project, do this and get awards and feel happy about it. I thought that is not going to work. And ultimately, with I come from a small rural background, so when I see the entire spectrum of what is happening in the world, I feel that, as I said, governments can't do this, and eventually every individual has to take part because time is also running out. And I also thought when Gandhiji would have been here, he must have, how he would have solved the problem. You must have done something like this, kuch yatra vatra. Now this is a modern time, so I thought rather than Padyatra, I should do some bus yatra. Because problem is of a global nature, it cannot be solved in 1 to 5 years. So, and by 2030, there is a sustainable development goals target. So I thought 11 years will be sufficient time to try it out. And if you are going to out for 11 years, it's better you sleep properly and eat properly. And that's why I thought of a bus, so that at least there is one place where I know where I'm going to sleep today. And that's how the whole idea came and evolved.
Hi, Professor Aditya Krishna, on behalf of Policy Governance, and I am Ranchi, would like to thank you, sir. Thanks for that scintillating and enlightening, I would say, talk